Press that button instantly for the intro. That's fine. Live. We're live.
Yeah, just go live. Yeah, we're going straight live. Welcome to the Dukes United show. We're here for the match reaction for last night's debacle in Germany. I'm Garth Lewis. With me, as always, the Duke, Nathan Hilton. How was it for you last night, mate? Let's start with that. Positives, Nate. Is there any positives you can give us from the game last night?
The positive for me was that we managed to get 3 goals in the end. That's number one. And number two is Reguilon going forward is exactly what I want to see from a fullback. But the problem is, defensively, it's exactly what I don't want to see from a fullback. So it's it's the good and the bad there. But that's the problem we got. We got to find a defender that can actually do it both ways. But Reguilon, he was a breath of fresh air going forward, overlapping. His enthusiasm was perfect. Putting balls in, crossing balls in, getting on the end of things was lovely to see. And forcing play, like he's a front foot player. You know, he's proactive. He's not the other way round. And I think that really did show itself yesterday. But apart from that, can't think of too many other positives, to be fair.
Individual performances. Højlund, what did you see from him? Did you see stuff that impressed you yesterday, or is he still raw? Is where I'm going from. He's still a raw player. But as a striker, what did you see from him that impressed you or didn't impress you?
To be honest, I didn't see much that I can say, yeah, you know what? We got a baller here. I didn't see his hold-up play wasn't the greatest yesterday. He just didn't really have too much that I could say, yeah, you know what? I just need to see more of him. There wasn't enough time. We're playing against, obviously, a good side. And in these kind of games, even the better players, you usually don't see them much. So it'll be unfair for me to say, give a verdict on him so far. But, he's a hard-working lad. He wants to work hard. He got his goal. Okay, it's a soft one, but it's still a goal. A goal's a goal. And you know what? I hope he does well, and I hope, I can see why we got him for so much. I hope I get to see that in the coming games, to be fair.
No, yeah, definitely. I suppose I'm probably struggling for positives here. I'm like, oh, what about Martial when he come on though? He done all right for 20 minutes. Like, so do you want to touch on your boy Martial?
Up a shoulder on someone and turn them and run at them. Okay, you got a bit of, even though it looked like he was doing his damnedest to do it, he still got it done. And he looked lively. So end of the day, I was saying to my son, like, look, of course he's a better player than Højlund if he was to stay fit. But he doesn't stay fit. So until he stays fit, I ain't even saying anything. So let's leave Højlund ahead of him. He's going to be ahead of him. But now he needs to stay fit and play like that. And then he'll be the first player. He will, if he could stay fit. But the chances of that, like we say, very, very low.
Even if he doesn't become our number one, having Martial, a fit Martial as a 20-minute sub at the end of every game, that's a dangerous... That's the sort of depth I'm talking about in a squad. And yourself, you'd like to see the depth. Like to have Martial as that, or even vice versa, Højlund as that, is quite good in my book. But you're right. Martial's fitness injury record is what lets him down. So, but yeah, if he can stay relatively fit throughout the season, that's an asset in my book to have. Apart from that, mate, I have got no other positives to discuss with you on that game. So let's move into the negatives. Where do we start with that? Shall we start at the big one, the midfield? Is Casemiro done?
Casemiro looked like Matic was after his first season at United. I was really thinking, hoping that it's not, but it's looking more that way every time I'm watching. He didn't even, if you look at the goal that Gnabry scored, he was jogging back, just watching what's going on. And I was like, you can see that danger there. Gnabry's standing in the box, like 5 yards to the right of you. Okay, Martinez should have been over. But I was looking at it going, you're jogging back. And he's there. And like, he's just watching the game from there. Like, are you done? Like, are you really done that much that you can't even start moving? That's like how I feel when I try and play with my son's team now. because I'm older, I ain't fit. I'm like, I ain't running back there. I can't run back there. I can't run. Nah, I'll just leave that one. Hopefully, we won't concede. That's the way he looks. I'm looking at it going, bloody hell, what's going on? So it's a bit painful to watch because you can't. He's gone from so good to then like nowhere near you. It's an instant change from looking like a top dog, especially them twilight years. That's when Sir Alex Ferguson used to go, you know what? Just before that twilight year happens, I'm getting rid. And everyone's like, oh, why'd you get rid? And it's like, yeah, because the next year he ain't going to be worth nothing. But this year he's still worth money. So let's get the money for him now. And that's exactly what Real Madrid done. They got all the years out of him and made sure there was 1 year still left in him. And now it looks that way, that there's only 1 year of him. And we had that last year. It's not nice.
Yeah. No, do you think, sorry, that with an Amrabat next to him, it improve or with a more solid defense behind him, it improves his game going forward?
Yeah, I feel like he needs to. It's like he needs another him now, and then he needs to be the guy who's kind of like Eriksen, where he chills in the middle. So it's weird because Amrabat's going to be a younger him. That's how I see Amrabat, like a younger version of him. Used to, he's going to be ratting around, winning everything, popping it off, and then Casemiro can be like the little lesser version of him because he's older, and hopefully that will make us very strong defensively. And then, like I say, we need to get that end product side to us on the other side of the field because it's just not there. Like for me, I look at us and when I look at the pitch, I see pencils that have not been sharpened. That's all I'm looking at. I'm just seeing pencils everywhere, all blunt, all need sharpening.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout, in fact. So we'll stick with the midfield. Eriksen. Is there a place really in this team going forward for Christian Eriksen? He done well for us last year, I think he got an assist yesterday. I think I could be wrong there. Was it Bruno? But anyway, it feels like his game has also rapidly declined since his injury last season. I don't know if you're on the same wavelength there.
You know what it is? Again, he's another year older. And the thing is, you can't have too many veterans in the most important parts of the pitch. We got too many in there now, and we're relying on all of them to do the job. Normally, you have the one kind of veteran around the young legs that can get around and do work for you. Now, we got veterans everywhere around the veterans. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. We haven't got enough in any position at the moment. Obviously, we've got a whole load of injuries. So, as I've been thinking in my mind, good enough options which I can feel a little bit confident about. But still, when you look at it and you look at the other teams that we're playing against and other opposition teams across the country and across Europe, you're looking at it going, we can't compete. I'm looking at it saying we can't compete. I'm the first one who wants to be wrong with like yesterday's score. But I said 4-1. It could have easily been 4-1. The way it was, I'm saying we were going to concede goals for fun, and we did. And it was just a weird one that the way we got our goals as well. But we got our goals. That's great, and we conceded too many once again. We are an open door at the back. Keys are in the door. The door's open at night time. That's what's happening right now. And everyone's like, come in. They turned the light on and said, "Come on in, lads." There's no police around. Everyone's gone to sleep. Come on in. Do what you want. Take whatever you like from our house. That's what's going on. So, what can we do? What can we do when 100 times behind our back, though? This is the other thing. I am not trying to get mad with Ten Hag because his hands are behind his back. He got too many injuries. He's got no one to choose from. He can't choose anyone. So, if anyone's saying, "Oh, bloody do something," you try doing something with no options. There is none. So, I'm not ever going to kill Ten Hag for having no options. I'm looking at the bench and I'm going, who would I bring on? Okay, maybe I'd play Garnacho. Maybe I'd start Garnacho, but that's only one player. And then maybe I'd bring on Pellistri. But now at least we've seen Pellistri for a full game. He's had a game against a big side with the full first team. He's getting his chance to look good. Like I've always thought, and I felt the same. He's a player that needs conditions to be perfect at the moment from what I see. you know, like a perfect ball into him, perfect way for time to do stuff. The minute it gets harem scarum, it's like he's nowhere to be seen in the game. And I can't really, you can't have that, if you get what I mean, if you want to really kick on. But again, it's one game, so, and it's a Bayern Munich, so, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you with Pellistri. Like, he looked good when we looked good, but then when after their first goal went in, he went a little bit missing, to be quite honest. Yeah, a couple of stats from yesterday. I didn't realise this. Apparently, Bayern Munich didn't have a player over 30 to start with. Like, literally, their entire team was in their 20s. That pace up front as well. Oh, and you get to bring Kingsley Coman on as well. Like, are you taking the mick out of me, bro? But anyway, we move forward. We move on, obviously. Defensive issue, like you're talking about the injuries. Do you see this team being more solid when we get Shaw back, when we get Varane back? Because let's let me sort of change that. Varane in particular with Martinez. Martinez, we saw it when he played with Maguire. Martinez needs a controller next to him, the Rolls-Royce defender. Are you on the same wavelength here? Do we get better when we get our defenders back? That like Onana gets more protection, etc., etc.
Yeah, 100%. Because look, Shaw is our starter, but I've always also liked Malacia. Whenever Shaw's not doing well, I'm thinking, you know what, bring Malacia in. Now, we can't even bring Malacia in. So, and now we can't even play Wan-Bissaka. So he's not even there defensively going, you know what, at least we'll be strong against it, that winger. At least we'll stop their winger because Wan-Bissaka will deal with him. We can't even do that now. So we had Delo giving the ball away every 10 seconds in the first half. And then it was just like, obviously, Reguilon doing good going forward, but not non-existent defensively, getting smashed off the ball a bit too easily for me. Lightweight, yeah, exactly. And but the thing is, like you say, Varane comes in, he's the main man really, but then it's like he's the main bolt of the defense, but Martinez then becomes the guy, if you get what I mean, because he's the guy who mops up things. And he goes in, but you know, he's covered and he's looked after, and that's where he thrives. Not where he's the main man having to do everything himself, having to orchestrate everything. It's not going to work like that. And obviously, Lindelof, he's the second player. This is what it is. Martinez, he should be. Now he's called upon to be the first defender, but then Lindelof's he's not a first defender. Maguire's not a first defender, and Martinez is basically a second defender, but a very, very good second defender. And that's what I mean, when all our second defenders are now first defenders. We're not going to be able to do a great job when we've got that, you know, and every team can't handle losing all their main defenders. Come on. Like, we got 3 out of our 4 that normally play at the back not playing. That's a lot. That's a lot of players out. So I think we definitely get better when we get, even Malacia comes back left back. He's a little tenacious guy. He loves to get in right up your back and put pressure on you. He's a pressure kind of player with legs, with the ability to get back. He might make the odd mistake, but look, I'd much rather that kind of player in our squad and many more of those. So
Malacia, to me, like, he's nowhere near as good, but he's the same profile as a Patrice Evra. Like that sort of like you say, tenacious, got a bit of speed on him, can pass. He's a great player, so solid backup option. So going forward, then, with our midfield, what 3 are you picking? If everyone's fit, what 3 are you putting in there now? Considering we've got Mount, which now, Nath, I have to start agreeing. Like, I'm now wondering where Mount fits into this team. I know you were first on it when we first signed him, and I was defending him because I thought you were talking about him as a player, not where does he fit into this team. But sorry, the question is, what 3 are you taking forward in this team then to secure us victories?
I'm thinking, I ain't even seen Amrabat enough, but he is my first choice defensive midfielder at the moment. He needs to go in there. So really, now maybe Casemiro is no longer that first choice defensive midfielder. Maybe Amrabat jumps in there. Then you go, you know what, Bruno, you can go in central midfield now. So we got a bit more legs in there. And then if you want to try and put Mount in, that's when you just put Mount in the hole, where his normal position is, where he gets his goals and he attacks from there. He's got legs, he does. He runs around, he shuts down, he does work hard, but it's not as a controlled central midfielder from what I've seen so far. So what I'd rather is that he's the attacking midfielder. Bruno, which we've seen him from a bit deeper, still able to do what he does. And then you got Amrabat, who's got legs. So now you got 3 legs in there. I can move. And then you can bring on Casemiro anytime you want. I'd try that 3 just to see how it goes. It looks like it's got goals in it. It's got assists in it. It's got hard work in it as well. And people who will play their positions better. That's what I think.
No, actually, there's a theory going around that maybe you play Amrabat as a CDM and then play Casemiro in the 8
as a CM.
And Bruno, Bruno as the 10. Do you see that one working at all?
You've got all the quality that you need in every position as well, but then you just don't play Mount when you spent all that money. I was just trying to fit him in as a new player, thinking.
No, 100%. Yeah. Same here. That's what I get
him in. But yeah, if you're talking about on paper what looks like it could be the best, it probably is that 3 that you just said there: Amrabat, Casemiro, and then Bruno. Do you have enough legs to get about? Is it just one of the players? Yeah, I guess it's like Casemiro kind of losing his legs a bit, which is just still enough to be a central mid. Amrabat being the actual legs again, and then Bruno being in the hole. Yeah, I think that's probably the best 3 you're gonna get. But yeah,
fair play. I just saw that on Twitter. To be fair, it's not my thinking, because I think you've got to play Mount because of exactly what you said. We spent the money on him. Obviously, Ten Hag's got something in mind how he's going to play. So we move quickly into the goalkeeper, Onana. Obviously, everyone knows that I don't think he's fantastic, but the De Gea revisionism and absolute backlash for Onana making a mistake is ridiculous, in my opinion. The mistake, horrific, but you don't think that this is surely we've got to give Onana the season, haven't we? We've got to give him his time to settle into this team, into this league. And let's face it, no goalkeeper can take 26 shots a game and not concede a few goals. But where are you standing on Onana at the moment?
Look, he has saved a lot of good shots as well when you look at it all. That's number 1. But number 2, he does strike me as someone who... It's weird because I think he's a tall goalkeeper, but he doesn't look tall when he jumps to save. It looks like he's got like short arms or something, but maybe I'm wrong. But he just looks like he's like, I don't know. You know, what's that dinosaur that has small arms?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah,
that's what I call my missus, mate.
And his arms don't go out that
call
long.
my wife, bro, because she's got tiny little arms.
It looks like his arms don't go out that far. But when he catches it, normally, because I watched all of his saves, all of the times he got shot at last year, and he didn't do that once, like where he fumbled balls in like that bad.
No.
So I'm there looking at this game, I'm thinking, what the hell happened there? We've seen De Gea do that last year on a few occasions as well. So it's not, obviously, you can't put it past people, and he is putting himself under a lot of pressure. It is Man United, so I'm interested to see how he reacts, like from the next shots and all of that. He did do well after that, I gotta say.
We made a couple of good saves,
made some good saves, strong hands the next times. So he did react well. And again, look, he's gonna be scrutinized for every single goal that goes in. Especially, look, we're playing some bad football right now. Exactly. He's not like it's not like he's protected, is it? He's not protected at all, actually. He's actually just getting whooped, balls shot at him left, right, and centre right now. And it's obvious one of them are going to go in. It's just unfortunate that this one was the one that you just should never let in, isn't it?
No, a horrific mistake. But every goalkeeper's got him in them. Every goalkeeper's got, especially as we were doing so well up until that goal, and then that really did change tide. But did you see his post-match comments when he came out? Oh no, respect. I've got nothing but respect for a player doing that, demanding to go out and speak, and then taking full responsibility for the mistake. That's you know what that to me.
That's what you do.
Like
you don't say, no, it's not my fault. It was their fault. Or what the hell? I'm the man. What the hell? What are you not talking about, man? That should have gone in. That was a wicked shot. You know, he's not like that. So, you know.
I like the self-belief, mate. I like the taking of responsibility. You know, I mean, for me, that's a leader. That's a leader coming out and saying, "Listen, it's my job to stop that. I didn't. Yeah. We lost the game because of that." I don't quite agree with that sentiment either. You know, I've seen on Twitter people like, "Oh, if he hadn't let that in, it would have been 3-3. If they hadn't got a penalty, it would have been 3-2." hit the
It would
post
have been a
twice.
total different game, Gar.
Yeah,
Totally
class
different.
apart. There you go. Yeah.
It's the way you know these games that they never go that way. They never go. They never would have been a certain anything else, because if they didn't score, they didn't score then, they would have been on us even more. And you know what it's like? They take their foot off the pedal when they're up by 2 goals and stuff like that. Why would they go on and go crazy when they know they got a game coming up? And then we can see the goal and they're like, all right, guys, let's get another one. All right, guys, let's get another.
Oh.
They're running rings around us. Like Musiala was ridiculous. you know what? First time I've seen him properly in the flesh for a whole 90 minutes, and my
he's good,
goodness
isn't he?
me, I'm like, whoa, this guy. He's like you know, one of them guys that can just move anywhere you want or fast. Can do whatever he wants, mate. He just turns and see you later. I'm gone. Yeah. Don't try and catch me either. I will spin you 360 degrees and I'm out of here. He was ridiculous, man. And then you got Sane just having everyone on a piece of string. And then Gnabry just sitting there in the pockets waiting for someone to just lay him the ball. And then he goes and gets a goal. And that's what I mean. He's not a player yet, by the way, that I would like to see come United. Although he's doing well at Bayern, he's not that kind of player who will take the game by the scruff of the neck and do the job for you. He's good in that Bayern team. He won't be good. He wouldn't be good in United. I don't believe that. So I wouldn't want to see him come.
Musiala on the other end, mate. I would break the bank to England have missed out on that kid. England have missed out on that kid. So
100%.
Yeah, their whole team. I'll ask you this: looking at Bayern's team yesterday, is there a single Man United player from our starting 11 yesterday that gets into that Bayern team?
Yeah.
Who are you putting in there?
If you look at you know, some of our fans, they could get into the Bayern into the Bayern stands where they can sit on a chair somewhere. So that's one of the Man United people that I'm getting there. But in terms of football, the actual players in the side.
I wonder where you're going there, mate. I'm like, really? Bruno, maybe? All right, fair. No, the fans in the stadium.
Let me think of this. Let me have a little think now. Right. All the Man United players who are fit. Let's see. Who was I not particularly fond of? No, their keeper I didn't really like so much. I didn't think he was that good. But
Trick or whatever his name is, Trick.
I don't think he's that good. I think Onana is probably better than him overall. So they'd probably take him. And then you're looking at nobody. I don't think there's anybody else there. Nah.
So bad,
even if Meccano was pants, he's not the best, but he had a good game.
He had a good game yesterday, I thought, mate. Yeah, Upper Maguire had a good game.
Yeah, Kim Min-jae was good.
He looked, for me, Kim Min-jae looked excellent, bro. They had this, I don't know if you saw the shot, I saw it in a replay. They did like a full screen of him powering down the pitch, mate. Like pacey,
he was good.
Yeah. 40 mil good. Bargain. How did Bayern keep getting them? Makes me sick.
Yeah, he was good. To be fair, there's not many players I would really put in from United.
No.
I don't think there's anyone but Onana that I'd really, if I had both squads, I'd put Onana in goal. And then the rest is Bayern, isn't
maybe it? Bruno gets a look in somewhere on the bench, you know what I mean?
Maybe on the bench, team. Yeah. He'd probably get on the bench,
So then, quickly before we go, then we've got Ten Hag. You've already said he's got his hands tied behind his back. Do you think he's under pressure at the moment? Or do you think it's just Twitter talk?
He's always going to be under a bit of pressure because you can't lose games week in, week out and concede so many. 14 goals in 5 games now? That's
6, 14 in 6, yeah.
It's we can't afford to concede goals at this alarming rate, and lose. We can't afford to lose against Burnley. Like, although our squad finished, we can't be losing against Burnley of all teams. Like, Nottingham Forest made it a tough game, and that was with a bit better side. So now, if we don't have players back this game, you know what? It could be another banana skin. And then his job's under massive pressure if he starts messing about with these kind of results. But at the same time, like I said, if I was the chairman, I'd be looking at it going, I know, Gav, don't worry about it. Like, listen, when everyone's back, make sure it picks up, though, because if we can continue this rot, you're going to have to go. If we find ourselves losing, like, the next 5 games, we're in trouble. Like, we're looking at relegation fodder. So...
Mate, our next 5 games are, in the grand scheme of things, what you call easier games. Burnley away, Crystal Palace at home twice. I'm guessing that's the League Cup, one of them. And then I believe is it Sheffield? Who else? They're not what you call big teams. No offence to these teams. We're expecting to take 12 points from the league games and the League Cup win. Obviously, that's if that happens, it's a different matter. Palace are always a trouble for us. You know what I mean? We always have trouble beating Palace. They are a team that can block defend, and we're bad at breaking that down. But going forward, just want to say this: Liverpool had this problem last season. They were missing a lot of players, and they had a horrific start to the season, and then they brought it back at the end. People talking about Ten Hag out, Arteta 8th, 5th before Arsenal started doing what they're doing now. Klopp didn't do anything for the first couple of years. Sir Alex Ferguson didn't do anything for the first 5 years. So people need to calm down a little bit in my mind about Ten Hag's situation. But do you see promise in this team, at least? Can you see that when the players are back, can you see this changing and us actually becoming a force with our first team squad? Or do you think still serious investment in the team is needed?
I think there's serious investment to be done. I think even with our full team back, we ain't got enough sharpness up front, in the front 3 positions, to be able to go and absolutely take it to the cities and even Liverpool. Remember, Liverpool, they still had that goal scoring threat. That's why they ended up where they were, even though they had such a bad season. Now with us, we can't rely on just getting goals and hoping that we get like 3 goals each game and concede 2 or something. We're gonna not score them 3 goals. This is our problem. We don't have the potency about our team in attack to be able to do that. So that's the problem that I've got, and I'm worried about. The quality levels of these teams, I'm seeing the decision making and their efficiency levels are just too high compared to us. We're nowhere near that efficient. Like, we have players that are capable of doing great stuff, but not at the efficiency level that we need to win games every week. It's just, we don't create great opportunities for anyone. It's all off the cuff, and it's just like, and you see how Musiala, like, for me, he looked like he picked up the ball and he does what he wants, and nobody can stop him because he's seeing where the players are going, and he's going, I'm dribbling past you there. I'm going to just drop shoulder there and spin, and I'm off. You ain't catching me. And then let me just put a ball on a plate for someone. That doesn't happen for United because we don't have a player that picks up the ball and goes, I'm off. Nobody. Okay, Rashford, every now and again, he can do it. But again, it's not often enough, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
and he's the only one.
For all my love of Rashford, it's far too sporadic. And even if he does decide to do it, man, and this is where I will agree with you with Rashford, it's then only a 1 in 2, 1 in 3 that he makes the right decision after doing the man. So we've got a 1 in 5 of him actually doing the man, and then you've got the 1 in 3 of him actually making the right decision. The odds, the percentages start getting lower and lower and lower that he's going to do anything like what you're talking about with Musiala, obviously. So major investment then in January, obviously needed again. Yeah. On the performances thus far, where do you see us making Champions League at the moment?
Nah. Seriously, we will do well to come 6th if our players come back and we then go on a run like last year. We would do well to come 6th. I think we're looking at mid-table this year. We're looking at 9th. I feel like 9 is the number that looks like it's comfortable for United to reach. Anything else, bonus, mate. Bonus. We ain't got no one fit, and it's a long time till they're gonna be back. And Anthony, even if he came back, he's still not. I'm actually happier that he's not there, so then we can give others a chance. And then Sancho goes and gets this stupidness happen, so then he doesn't get a chance. So now I'm not happier because Sancho's not even there. Then I'm like going, right, so now great for Ahmad to get in, and he's injured still for a long time. So there's nothing we can do. There's actually, your hands are tied even if you go to the 4th choice. Your hands are tied. If your hands are tied all the way at 4th choice, then you got no chance. Absolutely no chance. That means you're playing with a squad. If you got 4th choice players everywhere, your squad should be relegation battles, isn't it? Is our 4th choice players in our whole squad as good as Nottingham Forest first team? Probably not. So that's where we are. We're going to struggle. So I'm not even trying to be pessimistic. You know what I'm like? I'll just say
It's
exactly what
realism.
it is.
Yeah,
And it is
it's
what it is.
realistic. Yeah, man. No,
Let's
that's what I
rock
was asking. Because we are, this is a lot. I see a lot of people saying that when we get our full team back, we're going to be right at the top of the table. And I'm like, I don't know. At the moment, it isn't working for us on the pitch. You're talking about our first team. That includes Casemiro. He's, at the moment, maybe it will change, but he's looking like he's dead, like done. Not even, like, at least match, he was still averagely all right that second season. Then it was proper bad after that. Casemiro's getting run through. Scott McTominay's coming on. He's down in tools. Have you seen that video? Scott McTominay, referee outpacing him. Yeah, referee out. He's been on 10 minutes. So we're in deep, deep trouble. There's no two ways about it. I think we're in for a long, hard season. And personally, for me, I think a season outside of Europe, an Arsenal season, will do us the world of good. Ten Hag can strip out that team, get rid of some dead wood, hopefully, bring in some better players here and there. But it's a long, hard season, mate.
Again, just before, this is my last thing I'm going to say is, look, that's a good way of looking at it. But at the same time, remember, there's players you won't be able to get because you're not in the Champions League. So it backfires as well. There's so much positives to not having as many games and having all the rest. But then there's negatives of we're not going to get them first choice players that we want. So although I don't care what the results are in Champions League. I'm not bothered. I just want us to be in there and then still try and buy these good players. So then at least we're in there and we're able to get the better players and get closer. And that's it at the minute. We're dead. We're dead.
Yeah, just quickly. When was the last time Man United actually got their first choice players, mate? It's been a while now, mate.
Alex Ferguson days. Right.
On that positive note, thanks everyone for joining us. It's been a pleasure as always. Thanks, Nate, for being here. Check out all the socials, obviously. Make sure you like and subscribe because we need to get the numbers up. You know what I mean? If you like good chat, we're always here. Make sure you come and join us every week on the Thursdays, the Sundays after the games. We'll be about. So, pleasure, Nate. Thanks for having me on, bro. Thanks for being on. And hopefully Burnley, it's going to be a 5-0 win for Man United.
Hope so. Maybe 2-0.
Peace out, people.